Let's actually look at some of the new things that we have in it right now, which is the ancient cities.
That's awesome. I can't wait. Oh, wow. Wow, it's like both beautiful and terrifying at the same like I have so many emotions when I look at that deep dark biome.
So friendly, no. Yeah, last year we focused a lot on the skulk sensor, but since then we've kind of been trying to figure out what do all the different blocks in this skulk family do. And one of them actually is something called a skulk catalyst. And the main thing about the skulk catalyst is it's actually what causes the skulk to spread. As you can see here, whenever a mob dies, such as a zombie, near the skulk catalyst, it actually spreads skulk underneath it. And the amount is based on how much XP that zombie would have dropped.
Wow.
So, the deep dark, it's kind of overgrown with all these skulk blocks, so that means that lots of mobs must have died there.
Quite a lot, yes.
Make it less scary. Oh, and as you can see here, when you mine some of the skulk blocks, you actually get enchanting points.
Yes, and of course, if you still want to get some of the blocks for decoration or something, you can just use a silk touch.
And then we have the Skulk Shrieker. So when this block is activated, it's gonna give that really scary shriek sound that you heard now. And it also gives this darkness effect, so it's like pulsating darkness.
You can even see now when you're sneaking and you step on a skulk sensor, even sneaking it will activate. Then the warden won't come, but if you do make too many noises and the skulk shrieker activates too many times, the warden will come.
Diversity. So we want to find like a unique identity for different biomes. For example, the birch forest, as you can see in this beautiful concept art. So in the birch forest, we want it to be like light and peaceful, and the sun reaches the ground, the trees are taller, and the flowers, things like that.
It's really beautiful. It looks very Swedish in the birch forest.
That's true. That's actually a very Swedish forest. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And then you have, so you want to add more atmosphere to the different biomes, but there's one biome that you want I mean, I would say you're giving it quite an overhaul. It's getting a lot more in the wild
Yes,
update.
yes, that's true, and that's the swamp. Oh, our art team is just so amazing. It's such a beautiful concept art.
So you're going to tell us about all of the, I mean, there's a lot of exciting things coming to the swamp. So what are we getting?
Yes, there are a lot of awesome things coming. The first of which is the boat with the chest in it.
It's so useful.
And relaxing.
Yes, and especially now, in Caves and Cliffs Part 2, we have even wider rivers, so it's easier to travel on water, so it's going to be like extra useful.
Yeah, and like in the aquifers as well.
Yes, so like when you go rafting in the caves, you can like put your diamonds in the chest in your boat. Oh,
It's
that's
really
nice.
amazing. And you've been working on what I think now will be my favorite tree in Minecraft.
Yes, we are adding the mangrove tree to Minecraft. So as you can see here, this is a propagule, and propagules grow from mangrove trees. They're actually like ready to grow mini mangroves growing from the mangrove. And you can see here, the mangrove tree grows propped up on root blocks. It has vines hanging down from the leaves. The propagules are actually growing underneath the leaves. They actually grow from the leaves themselves. And I really like how the propagules are looking here. And okay, I'm just gonna nerd out on propagules for a
please
minute.
Love
Okay, so in real life, the propagules grow, like I said, from the mangrove tree. And then when they fall into the water, or like, let's say they fall into water, they could float for up to a year before they plant themselves in the like water, underneath the water or on land, wherever they happen to land. And mangrove trees themselves are actually amazing for like local ecosystems, fighting climate change, for local communities. They're just super trees, and I'm really, really excited that we're adding them to Minecraft.
That's awesome. And this is the first sapling that you can plant underwater.
Yeah, you can plant it underwater and on land as well.
That's so cool. When you first showed me the mangroves and you talked about your favorite thing, the propagules, I actually remember playing in mangroves in Florida, and we would use them to like write in the sand because they're super cool.
That's
So
adorable.
seeing
Yeah,
them
that-
in Minecraft is just so exciting.
We decided to go with like really big roots, and I think those are so cool. And we actually prototyped quite a lot back and forth, and it was a bit tricky to decide how the root should look like, as you see in this picture here. But now I'm so happy that we went with the like multi-block roots, because, for example, when you like go with a boat, and then you can go under the mangroves, and I think that adds such a nice feeling to it. Yeah, like in this picture, it's really nice atmosphere.
That's
I-
beautiful.
I really agree. And like when I was testing, I really loved that feeling of like being underneath it, being
Yeah.
like this huge feeling. And I wanted more. I wanted to be surrounded by mangroves. So as you can see in this video, walking around, you're just completely surrounded in the mangrove swamp. It's just mangroves as far as the eye can see, just like in real life. And you have all the mangroves propped up on their roots, growing in the water, so you can take your boat underneath like Agnes likes. And you're just completely surrounded by the awesome beauty of it.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, and I mean, during sunset, every time I was testing, I would actually like pause the day-night cycle just to watch the sunset in the mangrove swamp. It was super beautiful.
So you've actually added mud to do something really cool.
Yeah, so we're adding really cool renewability mechanics to mud. The first of which is if you take a dirt block and pour a water bottle on it, then you can get more mud. And then the other one is if you take your mud block and you stick it on top of the dripstone, it will sort of like drip the water out of the mud and eventually dry it out, which turns into clay.
I love the renewable clay. Like, I always need more bricks.
So mud bricks are a really, really exciting like building block. And as you can see here, the brick texture is actually different than the other stone bricks that we have in the game. So they're sort of smaller, more compact, but it is really cool like to build with. It matches a lot of different block sets, and I'm really excited to build with them.
I just love the look of them. They're awesome. So beautiful.
So the main reason that I wanted to add mud bricks to the game is that I really wanted people to feel like they're okay. All around the world, there are houses built out of mud bricks. So many people around the world have houses, buildings using mud bricks. And I really wanted people who are playing Minecraft to feel like they could build their home and feel like they're at home in Minecraft. So I'm really glad we got to add them for that reason.
Amazing.
Yes, and it's so important for us that like everyone feels equally welcome when playing Minecraft.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing. Now, so we have like amazing new trees. We have mud everywhere. We definitely need something very cute.
Yes. Well, very cute and quite derpy because we're adding frogs.
They are cute and derpy. That's the perfect description of them. The croaking is amazing.
And did you see the one that jumped like backwards?
One fell in the water.
Silly frogs, yes. And they do love to jump around, and especially on lily pads, and actually also on big drip leaves, because I mean the big drip leaves kind of look like lily pads. But the funny thing with that is then when they jump on top of the big drip leaves, it's gonna tilt and then they fall down.
One of them did. It just maybe it's a like frog slide.
Oh,
And you're adding another little tiny creature to
Itty
this
bitty.
update.
Yes, the fireflies. So you can see them roaming around, adding a lot of ambience to the swamp, making it feel just nice and cozy at night. But really, my favorite part of them is just making the world come to life, like feeling like there's life going on all around you. And oh yeah, also their frog food. Yeah, forgot to mention that. Their frog food.
poor fireflies. Yes.
Yeah, but look how happy the frog is.
Yeah, and
That's
they're
true.
beautiful frog food. So you can both enjoy them in the atmosphere and the frogs get to eat. So that's, you know.
Everybody wins.
Now, we're calling them fireflies, but Corey, is that what you called them growing up?
Actually, no, we called them lightning bugs.
I did too. And in Swedish, it's
It's eldflugor, and that's actually literally translates to fireflies.
okay. It's very interesting. It became like a lot of people talking about what you called it growing up. But we're really excited to have fireflies or lightning bugs in the game. I want to know more about baby frogs.
Yes, so all baby mobs in Minecraft are just like tiny versions of the grown-ups, but with frogs we're actually adding tadpoles.
Once again, you deliver on the promise of cute and derpy with the
We
tadpoles.
do.
Yes, and you can pick them up in a bucket.
Yes, and that's actually extra helpful for the tadpoles because we have frog variants, and when a tadpole grows up, it will pick a variant depending on the temperature in the biome it grows up in. So, for example, if it grows up in a really cold place, it's going to turn into a snowy frog. Yeah, as you can see here. So, the frogs has kind of like two main systems. One is the tadpole system, and the other one is the cold-blooded system. So, the frogs are like the first cold-blooded animal in Minecraft. And in real life, there actually are frog variants that pick a color depending on, or they adapt their color depending on temperature. And we wanted to have that in Minecraft. We wanted to Minecraftify it. So therefore, the tadpole's going to pick a variant instead, depending on the temperature.
That's so cool. And there are 3 variants.
Yes, it's going to be 3
Okay,
variants.
so we've seen 2. What's the third one?
The third one is the tropical frog. So let's say you were venturing out into the desert or the jungle and you take your tadpole with you, and if it grows up there, it'll turn into a lovely tropical frog. And what I really love about the tropical frogs is how just relaxed they look, and they're like blending into the sand almost. They're just so relaxed, just chilling there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think there was a reason that they were
Yes,
colored that way.
there is a reason they are white. So, I was reading a lot about frogs. Always when we add something new, we read up a lot. It's super fun because we can be really geeky. And then I learned about the real-life frog that's called gray foam nest tree frog and lives, for example, in Angola, Botswana, and Kenya. And that frog can actually turn almost white to avoid overheating. So that's like the inspiration for the tropical frog in Minecraft.
I love all 3 of them. And you have these different color variations, but you also have something else special about the frogs.
Yes, so each frog variant is going to have something unique that will be useful for the players. But we actually don't even know what that is yet because we are working on the frogs right now.
That is so cool. So Corey, which frog is your favorite?
Oh, it's got to be the snowy frog. They look so cozy.
Ooh, I'm tropical frog. I'm very interested to see which one the community loves the
I'm
most.
just
Or
gonna
I
love
mean,
them all.
all of them. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for joining us, Corey, and taking us into a deep dive of all really cool swamp things.
Yeah, happy to
Thank-
be here.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank
Of
you,
course.
Corey.
I'm just going to hop on out of here.
Bye,
So
Corey.
many puns. I like that though.
This is quite an awesome update. And I mean, I really see the name for the wild update. You get a bit of everything in it.
Yes, and I love the contrast. Yeah, as you can see in this pretty concept art, it's really like that beautiful nature and the super terrifying deep dark. And I love that contrast between these two things.
It's absolutely amazing.